Patreon.com/the Walk Off Podcast. $4 a month gets you in there.
If you're watching this right now and you haven't hit the like button, Billy, get on it. Bug your brother. Tell him to do the same.
Yes.
Because this
Little
is
positivity.
a very bright spot in yesterday's game, which, again, was an awesome game from start to finish.
Yeah.
And we got the win, so it feels
And we
weird to
got the
even
win.
say, here's a bright spot. But I think just with Manoah struggling, with the weird stuff with Kirk, the bullpen being kind of weird, and then the up and down day
Bo
from
struggling in the field. Yeah.
Outfield was great. 10 out of 10.
By the way, credit where credit's due, because Bo Bichette had a hell of a game at the plate.
4 for 6. Yep.
I mean, if plus minus existed in baseball like it does in hockey, it's just weird that Vladdy can go 4 for 6 and come out at 0, at even.
Bo, but yes, I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Anyways,
right.
back to the outfield. Sorry to derail you here.
No. You want to start with the new guy or the other new guy?
Let's start with the other new guy. Let's start with Daulton.
Oh, that's the way you went. Okay. I was going left to right. I was thinking Daulton was the new guy and Kiermaier was the other new guy.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. Okay. Daulton Varsho. We're going left to right then. The short king himself started the season with a base hit and then 0 for 4 the rest of the game.
Great.
Good.
Great first at bat. He had some really good plays in the outfield as well. His defensive prowess, without a doubt, came into play. Yeah, he had a good game. You know, first big league game as a Blue Jay.
He didn't have, I mean, you're not going to get a highlight every game. And it just so happens that Kiermaier and Springer both had highlight catches yesterday. Yeah. So it kind of feels like defensively a little bit of a disappointing game for Varsho, but it wasn't. Very solid. There was never a moment where it was hit to him where I had any sort of butthole puckering, I've always had with Lourdes Gurriel Jr.
Yeah, agreed. So. And let's give him a little bit of credit here on that 0 for 4 after that first hit, because one of those at bats was a sacrifice fly that scored a run. Okay. So, Fair. Getting it done is very important, and that was what we can say happened with Dalton Varsho.
Very true.
Going to center field now, Kevin Kiermaier really impressed me yesterday, dude.
Yeah, tip of the cap to Kevin Kiermaier. Impressed in all facets of the game, I think.
Truly. I mean, the play that stands out to me, and I know we kind of touched on it off the top here, but when he went from first to third, late in the game, down by a run, just such a heads up move. Something that this team has lacked is base running intelligence.
So this was George Springer at the plate. We had runners on the corners. I believe it was Whit Merrifield on third, Kiermaier on first. And then George did what he did basically all game long and hit a little weird blooper into center field. With eyes. And Kiermaier scored, or Merrifield scored. I think that tied it up.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Shulman saying Kiermaier's at third, and I'm like, how did he get to third? What he must have been on second.
Yeah,
I thought, he must have it must have been a double when he hit, because everything about that, I mean, talk about baseball instincts, was the speed that he has is underrated, but the read that he got on that shortstop going out for it, because initially he has to be trepidatious going to 2, right? He can't get doubled off. So he has to go to 2 with hold up halfway in case he catches it. But then, I mean, when you watch the replay, you see there is definitely a moment where it kicks in and he goes, oh, he's not getting to that. I'm gone, and did not think twice, right? There's that hesitation will kill you kind of a thing. And he committed.
There was none of it.
He committed. He knew as soon as he had the read, that shortstop wasn't getting there. Not only did he decide, I'm going to 2. As soon as he knew that shortstop wasn't getting there, he knew I'm going to 3, and he went for it. And I think even the
That is a
shortstop was
play.
surprised because the shortstop, when he did pick it up off the bounce, immediately went to second with it. Didn't even make a play at third. I don't think anybody expected him to be going first to third on that blooper into shallow center.
No, there's no way they thought that's what he was doing. And this is a play that, and I love Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Teoscar Hernandez. That is a play, no way one of those two dudes is standing on third. Zero chance.
Kevin Kiermaier can do that. I think Whit Merrifield also would have done that. And then my third and I think final blue. No, you know what? I think Vladdy might have done it, but for a different reason.
Yeah.
I think Vladdy might have done it because he just wants it.
Yeah.
He plays with that reckless abandon. But I think the third player on the Blue Jays that I think smartly would have done it is Kevin Biggio.
Yes. I think that's a safe bet.
Underrated speed and good heads-up
maybe
base
Springer.
runner. Yeah, maybe Springer.
Because I know Springer had an incredible game as well, going left to right. We'll end on George Springer, 5 for 5 out of the leadoff spot. I mean, the dude was on base all game long. He had that incredible diving catch in right field. Dude, if this guy can stay healthy, if moving him out of center field to right field does what the Blue Jays brass is hoping it does, which is give him an opportunity to stay on the field for more of that 162 game season. This team is really, really deadly when it comes to the offensive side of the game.
Yeah, I mean, everything about Georgia's game yesterday was great. It was 5 for 6, by the way. I don't remember which inning he got out in, but I know people are going to nitpick that detail. So 5 for 6.
Attention to detail here on the walk-off.
There you go. Attention to detail. Yeah, loved everything about it. Made that nice diving catch out in right field. Forgive me for not knowing which inning it was. The whole game was a blur yesterday. So much happened.
So many ups and downs.
Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about George. Pray to God he has a healthy season and can maintain an .833 batting average all year. I mean, it'll probably come down a bit, but I'll take it.
Oh no, George isn't hitting 800 anymore.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm going down the order here, the only person that had kind of a quiet day, I don't even know if I can find one. I mean, Kirk went 1 for 5. Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
You know, Varsho went 1 for 5, but had the sac fly, like you said. Guerrero had that. Well, he went 2 for 4, but had that sac fly to get the go-ahead run. Bichette went 4 for 6. Springer 5 for 6. Chapman went 3 for 5. Merrifield went 0 for 3, but he did get on base. I think he had 2 walks. Kiermaier went 2 for 4. Even Biggio looked like old Biggio. Drew a great walk in the
buddy. That was
inning.
So funny, eh? That I just love that. That Hicks is in there throwing 103 high heat, and John Schneider's like, "Get me Biggio.
Get me Biggio off the bench, yeah, baby.
He's due."
Hey, you know what? Biggio looked good, man.
He did, man.
That's all you want from Kevin Biggio is just get on base, you know?
Yeah.
Like just work that strike zone the way you know it. And yeah, it's just a bunch of good at bats, you know, like in a game that was filled with highlights. Even the uneventful things like a walk were interesting, you know? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because baseball's back and I was out on spring training, but I'm fully back. I'm so happy that we have a day off now because it's just an anticlimactic Friday for me.
They scored 10 runs on 19 hits. I don't think we're going to see the offense like this every game, but any team that can pull that sort of score out on any given day, that's a playoff team. So great to see the Jays get that first win.
Speaking of offense and things being up, stolen bases were up yesterday. Now, small sample size. It's one game. 21 stolen bases across the league yesterday on opening day.
Do you know how many the first game of 2022 had?
I don't know, but what I do know is that the league-wide average for stolen bases in 2022 was 0.51 steals per game. So about one stolen base every other game.
Which is nearly more than double. Yesterday was more than double that.
So yeah, like a 40% increase is great.
Look at that then. Look at that. More stolen bases, more than double the stolen bases of last year. The games were 18 minutes shorter on average than last year. The rules are working the way that Major League Baseball was hoping they'd work.
Rules are working. Some details, some kinks to work out with the pitch clock and the enforcement of the pitch clock. I think the pitch clock itself is good, but the enforcement of it and those weird
gray
like
area
Pete Alonso
need to be worked out.
Going back to first on a foul ball too slow, that's not good. Yeah, I do wonder about when there's a pitch clock violation, the guy delivers it anyways, and there's bound to be a hit at some point this year across the league somewhere, and that's going to be a weird, messy situation.
Agreed.
Needs to be addressed. All right, good episode, my friend. I had fun.
Yeah, thanks again.
Sunday we have a long toss.
I was just going to bring that up. Look at us. Look at the connection here between us. Yes, long toss on Sunday. It is back, baby. We've got Baseball Jen joining us, friend of the show, Garth Yorgi. We have Lewis Foster, the Australian pitcher, now in the Ontario system, and we're going to pick his brain on where he's at in his baseball career because he's getting close. He's starting to be scouted by some colleges in the US, dude. Like the kid is actually really moving up the ranks, which is cool. And then from the flight deck, Connor is going to be joining us.
Connor with a K. Cool.
Connor with a K. The whole gang will be there. That is going to be from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern. That is live. You can join us on YouTube. Feel free to get in there and comment and get questions in because we do keep an eye on that chat. It's a fun place to spend the evening on a Sunday after the ball game. So you can follow along with us there at Walk Off Podcast on Twitter, the Walk Off Podcast on Instagram. And we have been getting quite a few people DMing us for the Discord link. And so if you would like to be a part of that Discord, which is just baseball crazy and Blue Jay nuts right across the board, talking Blue Jays, talking all the stuff going on in Major League Baseball almost 24/7 because we've got people literally from all over the world and all different time zones. So wherever you're from, feel free to get in on the fun. Again, just send us a DM on Twitter. So that's the messenger part, or on Instagram.
Speaking of global Blue Jays fans, Fair
Which
Dinkum.
Oh, right. Yes, Phil
in Australia, Fair Dinkum, got his walk-off coffee mug for being a Patreon member.
Yes, he did. He sent it. So he DM'd us on Twitter and sent us the picture of it. So Phil, there you go, bud. Thanks for being a Patreon member and supporting the channel, but also good on you. Now you got a real classy mug for your coffee.
My favorite part of that screenshot, though, and maybe I'll throw it up at the end of this, is that I'll just show you right now. So here's the coffee mug. It's of course out of focus and dark, but at the top of this screenshot is
the baseball group chat.
It's the group chat with Hey Kami, and literally the screenshot, of course, was that was a weird one with it going under Chapman. He shouldn't have even thrown it. So that's the Bo Bichette error throw there. So of course that got included in this cool screenshot here.
Yeah.
All
right, Walk Off community. Thank you so much for all the views, for always following along. We do really appreciate you.
I started calling them the grounds crew, Scott, because we couldn't do it without them. We're the on-field talent, but this wouldn't happen without them. So they're the grounds crew now, okay? Can we get that to catch on?
Finally, we have something we can call the Walk Off fans, the grounds crew, and I love it, buddy.
Crew, right? There you go. All right.
I love it. All right. Thanks, everybody. Take care.